asked me to come down and have a chat, tell you what it's all about, what you have to do, basically get there and get higher, get further than that. So I mean, if you want to be a footballer, it's full time. It's not just when you come to training. It's not just when you're at the gym. It's 24 hours a day. You've got to be eating right. Make sure you're up for every single training. They're the guys that go the furthest are the ones that are there 110% every single training, every single day. Always on time, always well prepared, take care of your bodies. So, I do a lot of stuff with cardio, strength programs at the gym, lots of core exercises, lots of leg exercises, all that sort of stuff helps big time. For injury prevention, makes you stronger, makes you more powerful, and that's half the battle. You keep yourself fit, you stay on the pitch, you've got a better chance. If you're always injured, you're always fatigued, then you're never going to be on track. So if you can keep yourself strong, fit, stay on the pitch, you've got every chance in the world. So, yeah.
And can you explain then, right, how do you progress?
Yeah, so I was Canberra born, I've been here my whole life.
Guys, come a little bit closer.
So I went through all the Canberra programs, ACTAS and such I had then. And I played a few years in Canberra first grade. I played with the Olympics, a couple of years in Gungahlin. Then I got picked up by Canberra's youth team last year. I've been in Sydney for 12 months, so it's been a big experience moving out of home, everything like that. But that's part of the game, that's what you got to expect. Especially you guys being from Canberra. At the moment there's no A-League team here, so at one stage, if you want to be footballers, you're going to have to move interstate, internationally. You've got to be ready for that. And it's a big mental game. It's only 50% physical. That's what a coach told me once. You'll be technically the best player in the world, but if you don't have the discipline off the field, you don't have the smarts on the field, not just be able to read the play. When you're up 3-0, you try and nutmeg that guy in your own box. If you're not, you've got to play percentages, grind out games, that sort of thing. It's all about brains. So if it's 50% brains, it's about 50% your ability. So,
what was the biggest change for you coming from Canberra into the professional setup? What hit you the hardest?
Probably the professionalism, I'd say. So they call professionalism there. It's where you just preparing yourself for every training like it's a game. You guys probably all know yourselves. You show up for games. Game day is a bit different to training day. You might hydrate a bit better on game day. Probably eat better on game day. You might try and get a bit more sleep the night before. Whereas training, you come and muck around. But when you get a professional environment, there's no game day, there's no training days. Every day you show up, every night you get the best night's sleep and you show up eating well, hydrated. So every session you're playing at 110%, because if you drop down to 90%, the guy next to you is doing 110, he starts in the weekend, you don't. So you don't have that luxury of taking chances. So that's the biggest change there, moving to that environment, is professionalism. It's not just preparing yourself, your own body, it's being punctual, be always on time, always ready to go. You're wearing the right gear, look the part, respectful to everyone you talk to, coaches, staff, everyone, physios. It's all part of the game, it's all part of, not just the football, who you are as a person. You've got to live the lifestyle, you can't just preach it.
So with the lifestyle, what's a typical day of professional football? What's your typical day there?
So we usually, with the youth team, we'd start at 6:30 in the morning. So I lived a fair way out, so you'd wake up 4:35, maybe probably half an hour, just have a shower, have something to eat, get yourself ready, and then off to training. And we do about 2 hours training session. But that 2 hours, probably only an hour actually on the pitch. They tend to lead more shorter sessions, so maybe 60 to 80 minute sessions on the field. But a lot of the time's actually spent in the gym prior to trainings and games. It's all about prehab. Called prehab, which is your rolling, your foam rollers, your stretching, you do all the band work and all that sort of thing. It's all really important. Get your body moving well, get your hips right, get your back right. So when you get on the field, it's again part of the injury prevention I was talking about. So that's all. A lot of the time you spent there in the gym getting your bodies ready, so that as soon as you're on the pitch, there's no more warming up. You're ready to go. Do a few jogs to get going and into the session. So.
What was the What is the difference between playing here in Canberra in a Premier League and then moving into youth or National League or Premier League in Sydney?
So I've played
The game, within the temple of the game.
Yeah, so I've been playing NPL in New South Wales, which is equivalent to our first grade here. First grade here is there's quality players in the league. I don't know whether you guys watching any of the games, but there's guys like Robbie Cadillac, a few boys like that. They've played A-League before. They're quality boys, but they're perhaps not good off-field professionals, that you'd call it. That's to do with a lot of things. These guys, Canberra got full-time jobs, everything else. In Sydney, a lot of those guys in the first grade they're full-time footballers. So everyone's fitter, faster, stronger. So the top level players is quality players in Canberra. But it's not as, the depth isn't as great, obviously, smaller numbers, smaller population here. But in Sydney you've got 12 teams and everyone's at a high level. Whereas here you've probably got the top 4 teams that are at a good level and then sort of dips down from there. So it's a lot more depth there, it's a lot faster, a lot more physical league because everyone's a lot more professional. So they're worried about their fitness, they're worried about their strength. So that lends itself to a more physical league, a faster league.
At what age do you realise that you had to go from, only playing football to go to the gym, to, maybe get a foam roller, get, some rehabilitation or a strength program? When do you realise that?
To be honest with you, I didn't realise till I was 18. It was only 2 years ago. I always played at the highest level in Canberra, played all the state programs. It was a big mental switch when you actually decide you're going to be a footballer. And that's a lot more off-field than it is to do with on-field. On the field I did everything I could, I trained hard, played hard. But in my mind I never decided I was going to be a footballer. A lot of boys, that happens when they're 14, 15, even younger. They decide they're going to be footballers. They're a few years ahead of everyone, but for me, it happened when I was 18. And some would say I'm better for that, more mature, more organised. I can organise my life better. So I only made the switch when I was 18 when you realise, yes, this is going to be my life. And you start taking plans towards that. And it's, like I'm saying, you've got to put your foot in the door where you can, talk to the right people. But as I say, it's never too late. You're the captain of our country. Mila Yedina, you guys watch Socceroos. He didn't sign a professional contract until he was 21. So there's no reason why anyone can't give it a go.
So when you were this age, did you dream? Did you have dreams? What was your dreams when you were this age?
Big drum and Arsenal man. So in EPL. So.
Any players that you admired?
Yeah. Was Ozil growing up, Burkamp. Burkamp was always a guy. I just saw the videos on YouTube and stuff like that. Burkamp was a player. He's technically gifted. So I had big dreams then, but they didn't. As much as you could see that far, you couldn't grasp how to get there or what the real path was. And that's what I'm talking about when I turned 18. You could actually see the pathway and realise how you go about doing it. It wasn't just a dream anymore. It was, this is how it could become a reality. So that was a change.
So when you today, now you mentioned some names, and then today you watch a football game in the EPL, any game. Do you see the game and the score, or you see a position that a player that you want to be, that you maybe that you are like, you try to be like him in the pitch, or how is football right now as a fan or as a spectator?
Yeah, it changes immensely. The more you learn about the game, you see it yourself. As years go by, when you watch games, you see different things. I got to the point where now a good trick is if you're watching a game, try not to watch the ball. Try to watch the players around the ball that actually don't have it, because that's where you learn the most. You go their positioning, their movement. That's been probably the more mental growing part, understanding the game, how it works. You see, it's nice to see the long balls, the short passing, tiki-taka that Barcelona do. But the real question is how that happens. Where's the movement for those players to get in those positions, so they don't even have to think anymore. They know, Jovi knows exactly where Iniesta's going to be. Iniesta knows where Messi's going to be. It's all just happens in seconds. It looks pretty on the ball. Us sitting back on TV, it looks fantastic. But really, if you watch away from the ball, you watch Messi's movement, he's checked his run 4 times before he's actually got that ball there. And he's played another pass and he moves straight away. He doesn't sit there, watch his pass, he plays and he moves, gets it back, and all of a sudden you get a goal. From a spectator point of view, that's fantastic. You saw 17 passes, Messi scored, fantastic. But really, the amount of movement, amount of checking, amount of smarts that went into that goal is just so much more than what it makes the eye.
And it happens here, on training ground, right?
Exactly right. Train the way you play, let's say. So it'll be done here, if you want to do it on the field.
So maybe just the last thing, what would you suggest to the guys briefly from today onwards in terms of training, in terms of professionalism right now, after today, after this conversation with you, briefly, just summary of what you mentioned?
I think the big thing is just you got to enjoy it. I went through a period at the Wanderers actually where I wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't that I was working hard, I was working too hard. And it was probably put a bit of pressure on myself where you just, how do I explain it? It clouds your game. If you work too hard, trying too hard to sort of impress people, it clouds your game. You start your decision making is where it falls down. So you honestly got to enjoy it. It doesn't mean work less hard or don't do the right things. Keep doing all those things, but try and take the pressure off yourself because no one puts as much pressure on you as yourself. Just sometimes it's best to switch off, even day to day. So you wake up, you get your training done, do all the right things. You got a game, you got training, do all the right things for that. But then have the ability to switch off after it's done. Do your recovery, eat well after, and then go play PlayStation, go spend time with family, girlfriends, I don't know what you guys but switch off, and it helps you sort of recuperate for the next day, next training. So that's sort of big picture pressure. But when you're on the field, that's when you feel it most, even subconsciously you feel that pressure. Good technique there for the short term pressure relief. Try and focus on your breathing. Coaches say go in through your strength conditioning coaches say in through your nose, out through your mouth. Slows your breathing down, you get cleaner air. And you'll find that if you actually sit there focusing on breathing, so you just constantly big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, you forget about everything else. You forget about you just missed that pass or you just got tackled, stuff like that. You forget about those things, all you're focusing on is your breathing. So the next time the ball comes, your mind's clear again. So that's what helps me during games. Think about it, even good game, bad game, that can get you a clear headspace for the next time the ball comes.
What's the best thing about living in Sydney and playing at that level?
Professional environment has been the best thing. Even through Actos and that sort of thing in Canberra. So it's always a good environment, but you're only training. You train 3 nights a week there plus a game, so it was good. Had some fantastic coaches there, and that's it's a credit to the player I am today. But it's everything from facilities, equipment, mental attitudes of everyone else around you as well. It's not too dissimilar to what you guys got here. It's great facilities got here. The pitch is fantastic. It's better than what we train on, honestly, up there. And even the equipment stuff, coaching stuff, it's all fantastic here. So this is what you want, and you want everyone else around you to have the same mentality. If there's a few boys that they're just there for a laugh or don't really take it serious, it brings the whole team down. Everyone's sitting to their level. So if you got everyone else around you, and that was the biggest change at the Wanderers youth team. Everyone there is trying to get a first grade contract. So everyone there is pushing the 110% I was talking about. So you're pushing against each other, you're pushing against yourselves. Everyone at the end of the day pushes to a higher level. So that was the best thing about training there. Just very